Good morning, dear ones. Wonderful to see all of you. It is Monday. Let's take a deep breath together. We were just talking about gratitude a moment before. See if you can breathe it in as if it's incense in the air. Just breathe it deep into your lungs. One more time, deep breath. Just feel that gratitude filling you. We're going to start with our morning affirmation. Let me bring that up onto the screen for everyone to see. And as we say these words, no matter how often we say them, we feel them in this present moment, that this is the reality now, not in the future, not in the past, but right now. So let's say this together. I am as God created me. If I remain as God created me, fear has no meaning, evil is not real, and misery and death do not exist. I am as God created me. Amen. Amen, amen, amen. Johannes is sitting here in front of me and she reminds me, "Y punto, this is the truth, period. Nothing more, nothing else to say. I am as God created me, period. Live in that." So before we get going, we're going to share a song here. So let me see if I can bring this up. All right. Everybody just take a deep breath. We're going to be calling forth the enlightenment that is within our hearts right now. Let's take a deep breath and allow this to enter fully. That's one of my favorite prayers from St. Francis. What is that noise? Most high, glorious God, enlighten the darkness of my heart. Give me a true faith, perfect hope, and perfect charity. Let me be filled with such gratitude that every moment is an overflowing instant of grace and happiness and joy. Wow. What a way to start off our Mondays, eh? Well, as you know, we are always so blessed to have so many dear brothers and sisters together. It's making some weird noise on our speaker here. Usually we would have Vicky come in and join us after I read the selection, something that I wrote. But this morning I'm going to see if we can get Vicky in here early. So let me just make sure Vicky is here. So Vicky, are you there? Victoria?
I am here.
Oh,
Jimmy.
wait a minute. There she is.
I'm here.
There she is. The magic of the internet. Wow, did we just beam you in? This is a powerful group.
It's so real. It's like she's there.
Did you make a Vicky doll?
A Vicky doll, yes. We blew her up this morning. Wow. Vicky surprised me for my birthday party. Yesterday was my 60th birthday, and Vicky surprised me by sliding in a couple of nights ago, and we surprised the whole community on Saturday morning in a similar way to what we just did. They didn't know she was here, and we tricked them, and suddenly there she was up on the hills. So we're so grateful to have our dear sister with us all week. So you're going to be actually seeing her with that beautiful painting behind us. Anything you want to say?
I love you. That's all, Oh, hold the mic. It all boils down to love, doesn't it? It's like I come here and it was the most beautiful welcoming I've ever experienced in my life. And, and I guess that's what Christ's vision does. It helps us to receive the love that's already there, but coming into this extended family, oh my gosh, and then coming here in the morning with you guys, every morning we all feel it. But feeling it physically here in time and space while we are still in these little costumes of the body, it's such a big gift. And you always say I say the same thing, so I do say the same thing. It all boils down to love. It's like a festival of love. And then the gift was to have something to celebrate around, like the gift of a birthday and the gift of being together, and to witness holiness abounding. And that's what is here. And because everyone sees it in each other, we feel it in ourselves. So I don't think I could describe in words the experience of walking into a garden of holiness. And the holiness is in every branch, because you have Santo Agostino, who takes care of all the grounds.
Our gardener.
And every brother is a flower of holiness, a flower of delight. And isn't it so simple? Because when that's all you see, the rest just doesn't matter. And that's all we're asked to do. Because as that comes up in us, that's all that comes up in the one in front of us. So don't worry about the rest. Just rest in the love that's here. And I thank you all for that warm welcome. And I thank you guys. And I thank you, Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
And love really is all there is. That's the name of the whole game. We were just complicating it with other ideas.
That's such a good place to begin. And I wanted to elaborate a little bit on that, because love really is the only thing that matters. And we get so caught up in the mind, trying to figure it out, that we just don't relax into it figuring us out. Just allowing our heart to open. And yesterday at the Anglican service, I talked about this. And we can wrestle with theological principles and trying to understand how is it here, but how is it different there. When you're in love, none of that matters. When you feel the passion of that love, the details fall away. The differences fall away. And isn't that what we're really striving for? To have all of the differences just dissolve. In the mind loves to create distinctions and differences. Well, this group says it one way, another group says it this way, and still 185 other groups say it another way. When you're in love, you say it the same way. When you're in the passion of that love and that holiness and grace, who cares? The details don't matter. So if anything, I think that is what the Namaste experience is. Just fall in love with grace. Fall in love with each other. Fall in love with love itself. As St. Francis said, why is love not loved? That's what we're here to do. We're here to love itself in and through each other.
You know, and then, it always takes practical, doesn't it always take practical expression? It's one of the things Jesus says in the Course. He says, this is not about the play of ideas. This is very practical. We need to embody it and live it right now. And one of the best examples, yesterday, Father James Francis was saying Mass at the Anglican Episcopal Church. And you did a wonderful job of tracing the God contact from before Abraham to Moses, and it's an increasingly more intimate experience of man and God. And then, of course, Jesus Christ. And that's in the Western tradition, and there's a whole Eastern tradition as well. But in the Western tradition, it goes from a very distant out there God to a very present, this is my beloved Son, Jesus Christ, to we are the beloved child of God. And in recognition of our holiness, each other's holiness, God is present. And this community, and hopefully there are many seated all around the world, I don't know, in time and space, but I know our family here is an example of love without boundaries and definitions. In this room right now, there's at least one or several maybe Anglican ministers, Unitarian ministers, Unity ministers, some Eastern Rite ministers of whatever the language is for that. There are religious representatives of leadership of all denominations, and their one base is each other's holiness. That's the base. And that's an example of love without opposite and joining around presence rather than joining around principles, around concepts. When you love someone, you don't care what they believe. When first time I was here, I saw Santo Augustine walking, and he took my breath away, and still does, even more, because his walk is the walk of holiness, and you all see it every day, and you recognize it. And Augustino is not interested and is not called to come here and listen to any of this, but he is called to be present. He's present with every leaf, and there isn't anyone that ever comes here who doesn't recognize that and feel his holiness and feel blessed by his holiness and bless him back. So what a great example of love. And it doesn't matter if someone wants to run a Zoroastrian service this afternoon, I'll be there. Whatever you want to do, kirtan, you want to sing Gregorian chant, I do that. Whatever you want to do, Grateful Dead, Teddy did that. That's what Teddy and I learned together. It didn't matter. What mattered was the joy of our heart opening in recognition of the light that we are and that we see only in one another. That's what true forgiveness is, and it doesn't matter the issue. It doesn't matter the storyline. It's all a storyline of make-believe. But thank you, everyone here. First, thank you for the greatest welcome, and thank you for living out this experience of expanded love. That this particular facility that's concrete here in time and space has opened up its heart and its arms wide to any brother in time, in any tradition or no tradition. It doesn't matter. If you have come here with an intention to find truth, to find spirit, to find love, the name doesn't matter. The goal and the purpose is all that ever mattered. And we have matured into where the goal is simply love. That's probably the best full expression that covers every tradition. And that's all the presence of God has been doing, coming from far away, from before Abraham, into present divinity. The Christ in us is rising into our own conscious awareness as the only reality that we share, and the only reality, not just in brothers who are looking for truth or God or love, but in all of creation. We see that everywhere in everyone. And just seeing it lights us up more and lights them up more and makes literally, that's what bringing heaven to earth is. When we raise the consciousness of our divinity to our awareness and don't mess with anything else, just like what's so what anything else. And then we are the seeds of heaven on earth, and it expands in ways that we don't know, but it certainly has expanded in this way here, has flourished more than anyone James Twyman or any even two brothers could do. Just the grounds, the brothers, the community in Ahihi, and the world of time and space is being sung a song of love and home by every one of us, especially joined together, and any one of us just sitting in the holy presence of here I am, Lord, right now.
Ever expanding intimate grace. It's just
It's
ever
beautiful.
expanding. And when you're in love, the details fall away. When you're in love, who cares about those other things? Isn't that true? So let's just be in love. Let's just love one another with a passion that is unequaled in this world. And then the details will fall together as they will. So a little different having her up here, isn't it? All right. So let's go. We're going to talk. We don't need to talk about anything but that. We could just stop right there. But let's go ahead and we'll look at this little bit and see if that takes us right. Of course, it'll take us in the exact same direction. You want to read it? Or do you want me to read it?
Oh, you read it.
Okay.
I love hearing you read it.
All right. This is from the Master Teacher Within collection. The voice you hear is but your own. You are the very cornerstone of God's creation. You. Now notice that it doesn't say you and you and you and you. Who do you think is pointing at when it says you? The Christ within you, the oneness within you. It's the same you within each one. So you, that Christ foundation, whatever you want to call it, that's the very cornerstone of God's creation. Upon you has God's holy temple been built, and it cannot fail, since there is nothing created by God that could weaken or threaten the kingdom. Nothing that is created by God that could weaken or threaten the kingdom. That would mean that there must be weakness within the mind of God, and such a thing is impossible. And if there's no weakness within God's mind, then it follows that there's none in yours, because you share one mind. If you would but trust this fact, then you would finally see the vision of holiness that has been reserved for you since the beginning of what you call time. In your desire to be apart from the single mind of God, you have created a shadow that is the very essence of weakness. Shadow is the weakest thing in the universe, isn't it? The shadow disappears the moment the light shifts. You can live within that shadow for what feels like an eternity, but I promise you it's only an instant. What you call an eternity, in eternity is just an instant. It's gone like that. The second the idea entered your mind, God answered and proclaimed your mind whole. Once again, the second the idea of separation entered your mind, the very instant it happened, God answered and proclaimed you whole, one whole mind, not split. But you have refused to hear God's answer and believe it takes time to return to heaven. That's so you take and you stretch out that instant to seem like a long time. And here is your salvation, if you would only accept it. It does not take time to return to a home that you never left, except in your imagination. It does not take time to return to a home you never left. You are in heaven now. Trust that. Let that feeling build within you. You are in heaven right now. And your unwillingness to see this, I hate to tell you, but it don't change a thing. Your unwillingness to see heaven now does not change heaven now. It does not change the you that you are now. It does not change where you are now in heaven together as one. You can spin it out other ways if you want. You can make it seem like this or seem like that. But this is the truth. You are in the mind of God, and God's mind is whole. God's mind is love. All we are here to do is to just relax into that. You see, all of the other stuff takes work. All of the other things that we try to do to prove something other than the mind of God being whole takes effort and work. And then we wonder why we're so tired. Relaxing into the mind and the love of the divine is the easiest, most natural thing we'll ever do. Just take a deep breath and relax. There it is. That intimate experience. Like Vicky was saying, how yesterday we showed how from the time of Abraham to Moses to all the prophets and then finally to Jesus, and now even further, even more, how that experience of divinity comes closer. For Moses, it was at that burning bush. The presence that he felt, the name that he received, that we share. I am that. I am. The I amness that's within each one of us. Not I want, but I am. Let that build, let that grow. And then that intimacy gets warmer and softer and closer. And we feel that with each other, don't we? That's why in a community like this, we can feel that intimate embrace just growing, deepening, even when we have stuff. I know that never happens here at Namaste. There's never individual stuff. Nah. But even when there is, we have this foundation to keep coming back to, don't we, Vicki?
Absolutely. So what? So what? I love you anyway, right? That's the bottom line. So that's how practical this is. Listen to one another. And so we're listening to either someone singing a song of love or singing a song of imagination, of dream time, of make-believe, basically of fear. And when someone's singing a song or a dirge of fear, it doesn't help them to try and teach them the scale. It doesn't help them to try and teach them better harmonics. Let them sing out their song with your chorus of love. Listen to a brother, love him, see the spark. Don't pay attention to the storyline. The storylines come and go. And the only way mine will come and go is by letting all my brother's storylines come and go. And then we're in a new space, and we cannot help but be in a new space together where something wonderful is always happening, because love is always happening. And if we refuse to let our minds slip into the conflict, slip into the dream, slip into make-believe and pretend, then we're just resting in love, and love brings its own everything. It brings supply, it brings communion, it brings what to do next, what to say next. It comes fully equipped. It's like we're talking about, we work for JC Central, Jesus Christ Central Agency. They take care of everything. They did a wonderful job here at Namaste. They used your hands.
If you
and
just
your
get out of the way,
well,
just let it happen.
Stay out of the way. And that's the practicalness of it. Don't worry about your brother's dreams. Love your brother. Don't worry about his dreams. Just let him, just their songs, their dirges of fear. Let them just fall away by not supporting them.
Not supporting them.
Right? When we support a thought system, we strengthen it. Whether it's a thought system of war or poverty or abuse or whatever those are, live in the one thought system that is the one mind of God. And if it isn't love, it isn't. So let the correction come through our hands and our feet, because it surely will. Because the answer that God gave immediately is our being willing to live the answer of living in our right mind, our holy mind, and wherever we stand, we bring forth an answer that's helpful. And what a great example of being here and you answering a call And brothers from all over the world have come to share living in the answer together. And then whatever we're to do, if we're to go feed the homeless or shelter or take care of the sick or whatever we're to do, we'll be doing it, but it won't be because we're believing in it. It'll be because this is what's given us as a way to give. Love gives. We have to give. Whether it's crocheting potholders or feeding the homeless or feeding or sitting and listening to a brother. The nature of love gives. So every day, wherever we are, the practical piece is, how can I give my attention, my smile, my love, my presence, a crust of bread, a dollar bill? How do I give? That's how love operates. And in the giving, the kingdom is revealed to all of us together.
You know, I remember when I was young, I used to, on Sundays, watch this minister named Robert Schuller. You remember him?
Oh, yeah.
I think it was the Crystal Cathedral.
Right.
And they used to always begin with this song, something good is going to happen today, this very day, this very day. You remember that? Something good is going to happen if you just take this in. Something good, it really, really good is going to happen. The greatest, highest good is going to happen if we just say yes to this. It's happening right now. And me being in that now, that the happening right now, wow, what more do you need than that? We are so blessed to be able to join together in this single extension of the love and the loveliness of God.
And I'm so excited that I'm here, looking at the board that you always read from, that the daily word is faith. And when it's too confusing, hearing a brother cry out and sing a dirge, and you want to jump into it, what is the bridge? Faith. Oh, right, God wouldn't have a thought of that. God is love, so this must be a dream thought. Oh, God is love. The bridge is faith. I'm going to trust that. Faith is trust in action. And then below is the Course in Miracles lesson. Let me recognize my problems have been solved, because it was only one problem. I thought I was part of a dreamscape. You know, I was part of the make-believe setup. I'm not separate from God, that the I am that I am. I am part of that. I don't know how that works yet, but I'm not going to play dream world anymore. I'll just sit here in faith and wait for God to come and show me. I'll just sit here and hang out and wait. And I'll live in the love of the Lord. That's it. One problem, one solution.
Okay, we're going to do something a little different. Since Vicky's here and it inspires us, we're going to do something a little bit different that we've never done before, because it just came into my head.
Okay.
And when things come into my head, I just follow them. See where they take us. I want everybody, whether you're here at Namaste Village or in the Zoom, to just take a deep breath. Close your eyes if you want. And 3 words are going to come into your mind that lift this message high upon this holy altar, that describe the essence of what this message is telling us today. 3 words only. It could take the form of a sentence, I am love, or it could be just 3 words, faith, harmony, glory, whatever they may be. Just let those 3 words come into your mind. So first we're going to take 3 or 4 people from Namaste Village, and then we're going to take 3 or 4 people from Zoom. And all I want you to do is just to not just say the words but lift them. Let them lift you. Let them lift all of us together. Vicki, what I want you to do is to go out with the microphone. I'm going to turn this around. So you pick the 3 people.
I love you.
I love you.
Okay, Vicki, you pick whoever you want.
Okay, that was Jeff.
Truth is God.
Silence, peace, and stillness.
Trust, peace, light.
How about one more?
I was with Jeff. I love you.
I love you, Jeff.
All right. Let me come back here. Now I'm going to just pick three. I'm going to pick three people. Oh, I've got to pick Daphne. Hold on. Daphne, unmute yourself. I've got to begin with Daphne. You're just shining like a light. Daphne, what are your three words?
Love, kindness, attention.
Love, kindness, and attention. Linda Flock, it's good to see you. What are your three words?
That's a good question. My three words: love, peace, joy.
Linda Marshall, good morning to both of you. Lovely to see you. You can both share your three words, but you got to unmute yourself first.
I love you.
Chakotay, what about you?
Love, peace, stillness.
Oh, beautiful. We're going to do two more. Let me see. Paulina, good morning to you. You're shining. What are your three words?
I love you.
That's going to be a good general. We're going to do one more, and it's going to be Baraka. What are you? Oh, look, you have a kitty cat. What are your three words, Baraka?
One with God.
One with God. What more do we need than that, eh? So this is practical. This is practical. We're going to live in the practical grace of this moment. We're going to apply it to every moment. We're going to love every moment. That's how simple this is. Those three words that we love so much, no matter what. Let this be a practical extension of who you are. It doesn't need to be complicated. We don't need to figure it out. Just be in love with love itself, and everything will take care of itself. Any final words, Vicki?
Thank you, God.
That'll do, pig. All right. Let's go ahead and we'll do our closing prayer. You all have a beautiful day, and we're just so grateful to have our dear sister with us for the week. So keep coming back, and we'll just keep soaring higher and higher. I'm going to go ahead and put up the closing prayer. If you want to stand up, you're welcome to do so. Here we go. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Amen, amen, amen.
Amen. Happy Monday. Punto. Happy Monday.
Thank you. We love you guys.
Love you. Love
Happy
you,
birthday.
Love you.
Wonderful